So welcome to our first Kuali Days pre-conference session. This is Curriculum and Catalog Management 101. So to begin, I want to make sure that everyone who is here is in the right place. The intention for this session is really to give you a solid foundation about our two products, curriculum management and catalog management. So if you're in the wrong session, now's your chance to escape. Otherwise, we're excited to have you here. So I also wanted to make sure that everyone understood the general format of this session. So this first session is really intended to give you that base foundation. We're really not going to get into the nitty-gritty or the details or go over too many questions in this session, simply because we do have these separate tracks that happen after this session, where we're going to get much more into the details. We're going to take a look under the hood at everything, and that's where we're expecting to address any of the questions that you have. All right, just a few other notes about this session. So all of the attendees in this session are on mute throughout the entire session. You can put questions into the chat if you have a burning desire to ask us a question, and we will try to address it with the time that we have allotted. Otherwise, this session will be recorded and it will be posted on Socio after the entire conference has completed. And with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Eric to introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Eric Biella. I'm an engineering manager here at Kuali for the curriculum and catalog products. And I'm excited to be here with you today talking about these two solutions. So Kuali Curriculum Management and catalog management are built to address this need to streamline processes and improve data accuracy through integrations on campus. And we know that the problem that many institutions are dealing with is outdated, inefficient systems that require heavy manual and often duplicative data entry, which gives increased risk to human error and just managing all these different systems across campus. Because they aren't integrated often, and the systems generally lack transparency and visibility into the processes associated with curriculum management. It becomes difficult to clean up the data and successfully manage the process. So we've taken the approach with our solution of curriculum first. And our higher ed partners agree that this is a good approach. It's been validated through our experience and market validation with many universities and colleges. To elaborate on this, we've developed this pyramid of success, which starts with this curriculum piece at the base, the foundation here. And then from that curriculum, we dynamically build the catalog here and streamline that process. And that really leads to the ultimate goal of success and service to the students through curriculum that's relevant and effectively managed within the software. So our software is built cloud native. It's built for the cloud, not just hosted on the cloud. That means we're able to leverage a lot of the latest and greatest technologies for responsiveness and performance, and really be nimble in the way that we deliver new features and things like that. Kuali Curriculum and Catalog Management is one solution, one place with you and designed with you in mind. Really designed to get you into the system and get you exactly what you need to do within the curriculum management software and on with the rest of your day. We don't do customizations to our code, but our software is highly configurable. And there's no custom code needed for all of the configurability that we'll get into a little bit later in the demonstration. This saves you a lot of pain and time in lengthy upgrades. And it allows us to be flexible and agile in the way that the solution can be configured to meet your current data and process needs, as well as deliver new features in an ongoing way as you're using the system. Wanted to highlight 9 key features that we'll be going over as part of the live software demo to be paying attention to. We have a QR code here. If you want to scan that, it'll take you to a PDF download that you can get to have some more information on this. But just going through the list here, we use next generation smart forms, which allows you to leverage validations and things like progressive disclosure. So we're able to show and hide fields under certain contexts and scenarios, so that you're getting all of the data that you need from the appropriate audiences, but you're not cluttering up the interface for certain scenarios where you wouldn't need to fill out those types of fields. We have graphical workflows, which are unique to Kuali. We have a highly intuitive drag and drop interface to help you manage the governance processes around curriculum. Our software features dependency analysis to be able to uncover the way that courses and programs and other types of curricular records are linked together. And from curriculum management, we're seamlessly able to dynamically build the catalog intelligently using the dates associated with when a course starts and ends, and what other factors we want to dictate what courses and programs show up within the catalog. Our software is broad and inclusive. It's responsive to meet you on the devices that you're using. It's also accessibility compliant, WCAG 2.0 AA compliant. We feature personalized dashboards and reporting within the software. And this helps you to get to exactly what you need to within the system quickly without too many clicks, and get you all the data that you might need to grab from the system as well with that reporting software. We have single sign-on and permissions built in, a fully open REST API for facilitating all different types of integrations. And then finally, our sys connector service, which allows you to translate data from curriculum management to your desired student information system. So the outcome when you put all this together, you're building high quality curriculum that increases the student success. You're providing that broad access to everyone using the software. You're uncovering some of the mysteries in the process. You're providing transparency to the people managing curriculum. You have that proof of review captured right within the system. And this allows you to streamline processes on campus. Okay, we're going to go right into the live demo now. I'm going to click over here. And just as an introduction here, we're looking at the curriculum management dashboard right now. So right here on the dashboard, I'm given easy access to all of the records within the system that I've either been working on in a draft or maybe I've submitted them to review. This is going to provide you that quick access to pick up where you left off or check in on the status of a particular record. On the right-hand side, we have our action list. The action list, as you can see, I have a few approval requests. Maybe I'm being asked for an acknowledgement of sorts or something like that. And this is going to also direct me directly to the particular records, so I know exactly where I need to go. Over on the left-hand side, we have a number of different content types that are being managed within the system. So we have courses, programs, specializations, and policies in this particular instance. And if I click into one of these, you'll see we have our list of courses here. And this is going to currently show all of the courses within the system that are active. And I can filter on the right-hand side to show active, retired, or inactive. I also have this particular instance to be able to filter on the department or college. And those are configurable fields to be able to allow you to name those whatever you might want. Across the top here, I have my search bar where I can easily search and filter down to a particular record. And I can also create a new draft course here if I'm making a new course to be submitted to the workflow process. I'm going to go ahead and search for a particular course. I'm going to click on this Chem 221 Inorganic Chemistry course. So as you can see, we're now looking at this particular course record. And this is just one sample configuration of fields that I'll scroll down through here in just a minute. But across the top, you'll see we have a green banner that shows the subject code and number and the title and also the status of the course. So we can see that this is a current course and we're looking at the current version, which started summer 2020 and goes to indefinite. I can also click in and see my past versions of the course here. So I can very easily access all of the different versions in the course through time and see exactly what those look like. Scrolling on down through here, you can see we have a number of different fields to capture all the different types of data points. This is our highly configurable form, and this is just one iteration of the configuration, but I wanted to highlight just a few things to talk through before showing you what it looks like to propose changes to a particular course. So we have several different curriculum-focused gadgets within the form. Here's an example of one we call our rules gadget. And this allows you to establish linkages to other courses through the prerequisites and co-requisites, or if this was on a program, say the program requirements or admission requirements. And those connections are part of what's really powerful about this software, because we're able to use those linkages to really uncover how changes to a particular course might impact another course or program. So I have right now a requirement of Chem 122 and a co-requisite of Chem 221, the corresponding lab for this course. Scrolling on down, we're able to map outcomes for a particular course. So we have this particular course level outcome, and then we can link those to corresponding program outcomes. I'll show you what that looks like a little bit on the program side in just a moment. Scrolling on down to the dependencies section, this is where those rules linkages come in to play. So I can see at a glance that my Chem 221 course is required in some way by all of these different types of curricular records. So we've got 4 courses and 4 specializations in this case that are requiring this course. So I can very easily see, if I wanted to open this up, for example, I can see the exact rule where this is referenced. And we've heard from our partner institutions that this has been immensely helpful in understanding how changes to a course might impact another course or program. And this course form is divided up into different panels. You can see we're looking at the credits and grading scheme panel. And on the right-hand side, we have our table of contents, and we're highlighted on that table and grading scheme. If I scroll down, you'll see that it's going to highlight this as I go. I'm going to go ahead and click over to the programs, and you'll notice a very similar interface here. But in this case, we're looking at program configuration. And I'm just going to click on this computer science record, for example. So this is a similar type of interface, but again, highly configurable, configured to capture all of the program data that we need for this course. And I'm just going to highlight this outcomes section, since we talked about that on the courses form. So in the outcomes section here, we're now looking at the program level. So I have my program level, and then all of these courses are linked up to the program level, really showing you at a glance how many different courses are feeding up into a particular outcome. Okay, clicking back into my Chem 221 course here, I'm going to go ahead and propose changes to this course. And I'm prompted with the ability to create a new version or make a revision. In this case, I'm going to create a new version. And that's going to bring up a draft. You can see that the header has changed. We have, it's sort of this orangish yellow with an indicator that it's a draft. And then I've gone into edit mode for my particular proposal here. Scrolling on down, I can make any changes that I might need to this. If I want to, for example, add an additional prerequisite here, I can do that. And you'll notice that the change is captured as I make it here. So if I was making, I could make other changes. For example, let's see, I'm going to change this description here and say, and related lab exercises. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave edit mode. Now in my draft, you can see that all of the fields that have been changed, the effective catalog year, my description here, and then the prerequisites here have all changed, and we're highlighting those so it makes it easy to review. And if my proposal is ready, I can now submit this for approval and send it in through the configured workflow on this particular instance. I'm going to go ahead and do that and submit for approval. And now you'll see once again the header has changed here. And we have this blue header indicating that this proposal is in review. Now, I happen to be an approver for this particular proposal. So I have these actions on the right-hand side to be able to approve, send back, deny, or withdraw my proposal if I want to do that. I can also see the workflow status as indicated as in progress. And then right here, we're showing the current step of the workflow process. If I expand this, I can see all of the different steps within this particular proposal. And I can see where the current step is and the future steps that will be happening down the line. If I want to, I can go ahead and approve, or if I need to send it back for additional work, I can do that and send it back to the user. I'm going to go ahead and approve and just show you what that looks like. So we'll approve that. And you can see my my comment is captured there and it's time-stamped. And now we've moved along to the next step in the process. If I expand this further, I can see all of the historical record there. I can also see within the audit log here the ability to, or I can see all of the fields that were updated as well as when it was submitted and last approved. And that's going to be carried through all the way through the governance process, really providing that transparency for your end users. Wanted to talk about a brand new feature that we just released last week. And it's this commenting section here. And that's going to allow you to be able to send in comments to other people and give them edit access and really capture that conversation right within the proposal there. If I go ahead and approve this all the way through, we'll see all of those approvals captured within the system and time-stamped there. And now we're at this committee step. I'm going to go ahead and approve this. And at any point, if I needed to send this back, I certainly could. We're sending a proposer notification here. That's going through there. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my screen. And once this goes all the way through to the process, then that record would become part of the active record within the curriculum management system for this record. So we're showing summer 2020 right now, and if that goes all the way through, it would show fall 2021, I think was the start date. All right, I'm going to dive into the workflow configuration area and just talk a little bit about that. So we're going to go in and look at the course workflow configuration there. And here we're looking at the configurable workflow within the system. And so just to orient ourselves, we have a number of different types of steps that we can leverage throughout the workflow. So we have approvals type steps, we have acknowledgement steps, notification steps, and branch steps. And I'm going to go through each of those. At the beginning here, we have a branch step, and a branch step is really going to allow you to capture different types of routing for different conditions. And you can route based on all different kinds of conditions. In this case, we've set up 3 routes. One for if the proposal type is new, if it's a newly created course, or we're routing into this middle row if it's a modified proposal, if we're proposing to change a course, or along the bottom if we're proposing to retire a course. Clicking into one of the steps within a branch, I have an approval step here. And within an approval step or an acknowledgement step or a notification step, I'm able to route in a number of different situations. So I have the ability to route to a person in a role or a group using the group's hierarchy on the form. So in this case, we have a department role or a department field on the form, and we're choosing to route using that department field to the department chair. We've made it so that the approver can edit this proposal at this particular step. We can also make it so the step gets skipped if the role is empty. And then we have some different voting options. So in this case, with a chair role, we've selected it to be a single vote. We'll move this forward, but I can also change this to require a percentage of votes, a percentage of approvals, and I can require a percentage of participation as well. Clicking over to the next step, this is a very similar step, but in this case, we're routing to a college chair role using the college field. And then I'm just going to show the acknowledgement field. Again, the same routing options. We're using that department field and routing it to the committee in this case. But an acknowledgement step, unlike an approval step, does not stop the workflow process. It sends a notification to each of those users in that role and allows them to click an acknowledge button and add an optional comment if they'd like to do that. And then clicking over into this notification step, we have the ability to send a notification. In this case, we've configured it to send to the proposer. And we've configured you can configure the email subject as well as the body of the email using variables from the proposal, data from the proposal to dynamically populate that notification to the person we're sending that to. So if I had a new proposal, it's going to go through these 4 steps, and then it's going to go along to this configured registrar step, where we have a different type of routing. So in this case, we're routing all proposals to a specific role. So all proposals will go to the registrar in the registrar's office group. And this is, again, a single vote. But we've configured this to represent sort of an appeals process. So if the registrar in this case were to deny it, it's going to go back to the college dean if it's denied, and then it could be approved by the college dean. And you can add denial steps to any approval step. So this allows you a lot of flexibility to manage all different kinds of processes and scenarios within the curriculum governance process. And then we've got another acknowledgement step and then final approval at the provost's office. This, as I mentioned previously, is a highly configurable drag and drop interface. So this is just one iteration of this. If I, for example, wanted the college chair to be first, I simply drag and drop that first there. And I can do that throughout the workflow. Makes it very easy. If I need to add an additional step, I can simply do that, drag in my proposal, and route to the appropriate place as needed. I'm going to go ahead and delete that step to keep this clean for now. With curriculum management, you're going to get a configurable form and workflow with any of the content types. So courses are all going to have a workflow, programs are going to have a workflow, specializations, policies, and so on. And this is, of course, you're going to be able to leverage the branching within the workflow to be able to capture all kinds of different scenarios for different types of proposals. Okay, moving along here, I want to highlight just a few other things. On the left-hand side, we've got, as I mentioned, specializations and policies as well. Those are just two additional configurable forms that we're managing within the system, similar to courses and programs. And then proposals is the area where I'm able to see all of the different types of curricular records in various states of the review process. So whereas I'm in courses, for example, seeing all of the active courses, in proposals, I'm seeing those. Right now I'm looking at drafts, so I'm seeing all of the drafts within the system here. Proposal groups are going to allow you to be able to create different groups of proposals and track the progress of those proposals in the system. Just like in courses and programs, I can search to find the particular record that I want. And in this case, I've captured this disease and immunology group to be able to see those group proposals and track the progress in the system. This is particularly handy with like a new program that's requiring all the courses and programs to, or all the courses in the program to go through at the same time. We also have an agenda tool within the system. And so I'm able to create different agendas. I'm going to go ahead and create a new agenda here. I can give it a title, and I can give it a date. We'll go ahead and make it for today, and we're going to make it for 12:30. And I can set a location, and then I can add attendees as I would need to. I can set a description. I've added an attachment field, and you can add additional fields here. And then I can add my different proposals within the system if I wanted to do that. So I can bring in the different, any of the proposals within the system, and then send that off to, let's see, I'll bring this one in. So I can send this one off to a particular committee if I need to do that. So I've got this all set, and then I can send this off to the participants. I can also add additional email addresses if I need to. This can really help to facilitate those curriculum review meetings, or help to do some of this process asynchronously as well. And then clicking over into reports, we have different reports for each of the different types of curriculum being managed within the system. Clicking into courses, just to show you an example, we've got a number of different fields that will appear out of the box. I can configure the columns in my report, though, to include any of the configurable fields within the course form in this case. So if I want to go ahead and add the credits field, for example, I can do that. And now I've got that credits field here. I can very easily drag and drop that to a different position, and my report will re-render. So now the course credits are showing up there. Clicking over into the filters, I can very easily filter based on status. I can filter based on the a date range of last modified with this date picker here. I can also filter based on department and college. And then I can add advanced filters as well, where I can hook into different fields in the form to be able to filter down my report. So let's say I want to do course credits greater than 3, just as an example. And then I could also filter for only active courses. And now I'm showing all of the courses that match that criteria, including range courses that fit within that, that criteria of the credits filtering. You can see I'm showing 1 of 100 results out of a little over 1,800 courses. Clicking over into the actions panel, I can go ahead and save this report if I want to. And I can click OK. And that will now appear on my dashboard. I can also go ahead and download a CSV of this if I want to bring this into another application. And just a quick plug, we do have a reporting session later in the week that will go into this in greater detail. But I've got my course report demo here. And if I click back into this, I have direct access to the report exactly as it was configured with all of the live data that matches the criteria. I can also, from this reports dashboard, be able to download the CSV right from the dashboard here without having to click right into the report. Okay, I'm going to shift gears here and talk a little bit about the curriculum or the catalog management side. So I'm going to pull up a demo catalog here. And this is just an example that we wanted to show. I'm going to click over into this undergraduate catalog here. So when we have curriculum being effectively managed within curriculum management, we're really able to seamlessly and dynamically build this catalog in a way that really reduces the amount of effort that you need to spend in managing this, because you're managing it accurately within the curriculum management side. So we're able to dynamically generate this particular catalog here. I'm just going to show you this student-facing view of this here, and talk about how we manage some of the data over in the catalog side. So we've got on the left-hand side our menu, where we can add a home page or president's message. We can add content with nested items there. And then we have our curricular content that we're dynamically bringing over here. Across the top here, we have a search bar that's going to search all of the curricular content within the catalog. So if I go ahead and search for a chemistry course, for example, that's going to bring all different types of records. And then I could filter based on the type of record if I wanted to do that. I can also click into, for example, my Chem 221 course. And now we can see that we've got Chem 221 showing with the title here. We brought in the credits data. We brought in the course description, the delivery method, the requirements. And these four things are just four fields from curriculum management that we've dynamically brought over into the catalog. So you can pick and choose exactly which fields you need. Of course, on the curriculum management side, you're going to be storing more data than you would want to display on the catalog. And so that's going to be true of courses and programs. So again, if I want to go into my my programs here, you can see we've brought in other types of fields here, and we can see all the curriculum requirements that are showing here, as well as the nested concentrations. So I can click into this and see the requirements for my nested concentrations there. Similarly, I can see my policies. And then I just wanted to show one other thing in the chemistry record. So if I go into my Chem 221 record here, because we're managing changes within the curriculum management side, we can also dynamically create addenda to the catalog that will show what has changed since the catalog was created. So students have easy access to be able to see updates that were made to a course since the course was published to the catalog. So we can see we're highlighting the new and the old description here, as well as the new requirements and the old requirements that are being captured there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click back to my slides. All right, so this has been a very quick introduction to curriculum management. As Colleen mentioned, we're going to be going into much greater detail in the training sessions immediately following this. Quick pro tip, you can bookmark Kuali's glossary for some of the terms that I've mentioned here, as well as other terms that we'll be discussing in the training sessions. That link will be provided in the slide deck that will be uploaded to the Socio platform. And a reminder for the Kuali customers that are registered for our training workshop. We're going to be going into those training room sessions in about 15 minutes after this proposal is, or after this session is done. And but first, we wanted to. We know that we've got a mix of people here. We've got some prospective people and current customers, current partners, and on behalf of all of us at Kuali, thank you for being here with us today. We really look forward to connecting with all of you during Kuali Days, and we appreciate your time, and thank you for joining us for this session. We look forward to the training sessions and going into greater detail there and demoing some of the new exciting things that we've got, that we've been working on, and answering your questions and really understanding some of the challenges you're dealing with and helping you work through those things with our solution. So on behalf of all of us at Kuali, thank you. I hope this was a good introduction to Kuali Curriculum Management, a review for some, I'm sure, but lots to cover in the coming training sessions and throughout the week. And we hope that this session was valuable to you. And look forward to connecting with you all throughout the week.